Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Hey guys, we just wanted to give you guys a quick update in between our regular scheduled work. It's crazy times. And so we have the FBI confirms targeted attack at Dallas ICE facility, finds bullet with anti-ICE message. So this is from Zero Hedge. This is what's out there in print at the moment. Says it was a sniper attack they're describing the person as a leftist, Joshua John, 29, killed 2 detainees at an ICE facility in Dallas, critically injured another. They say he then killed himself with his own rifle. The FBI described the incident as an act of targeted violence. The shooter opened fire from an elevated position. Investigators found an unspent round with anti-ICE political messaging. His alleged socials show ties to far-left causes, even as far as him voting Democratic in a previous election. You know, it's just, we are obviously seeing what we kind of suspected would happen. And it's been kind of telegraphed for many, many years, maybe even decades or longer. As you see an ammunition clip of 5 rounds of 8mm Mauser. And, you know, again, the Mauser is a old school rifle. Yeah, you know, it's just kind of odd there. But, you know, again, is there some sort of bigger message here? And we look at everything from the standpoint of it's all part of this big drama of which we are all actors and players, living out this reality, looking at things for their potential for growth and understanding on a personal level. Of course, there are obviously tragic events that are occurring just, you know, with so much frequency. It's every single day, and you have people again trying to make light of situations, but we do have this whole divisive situation within the United States and the global situation exploding at a time when we have so much revelation coming out of a staggering proportion. I mean, you know, it's like, it's nauseating, honestly, to look at society. It's nauseating. It is certainly something that lowers your frequency for those that understand those type of terms. By the way, there also was a gunman that opened fire on Area 51 in Nevada, Nellis Air Force Base. A gunman opened fire outside of Air Force Base in Nevada, linked to Area 51. According to police, the unknown suspect fired rounds at the main gate of Nellis Air Force Base, which, again, the main gate here is not right down in, it's not down close to Vegas. It's off a ways. But, you know, the main gate's going to be temporarily closed. Area 51, everybody should recognize that. It's highly classified U.S. Air Force Base facility located within the enormous Nevada Test and Training Range. It's enormous, guys. It's huge. It takes hours and hours to get from one side to the other. While both sites are used primarily for testing classified aircraft and weapons, Area 51 is remote, secretive part of the military complex far from the main base in Las Vegas. So, you know, this is, again, kind of odd. It gets some people wondering. You know, we've all wondered about embedded sleeper cells being activated, but then we've also wondered about the MK Ultra side of things. We've wondered about the frequencies. Everything is coming out. Everything is kind of being exposed on a very, very large level. By the way, good news, finally over by the Ostrich Farm in British Columbia. It's under the protection of an Indian tribe, a Native American tribe, which has issued a cease and desist order to protect the birds and the land. So the tribe issued the protection, and it has actually worked for the moment. The Supreme Court of Canada granted an interim stay to stop the culling for a moment. You know, this has really riled up people, and that's, I think, a good thing, because, again, we you guys know the bigger scheme. It's just beyond obvious, and yet so much of the world is still sleepwalking. And, we need to awaken as many people as possible to what's happening. In fact, when I first brought this up about the ostrich farm, all of a sudden the computer locks because they don't want you talking about this. They don't want you, really understanding that this attack on humanity and everything about this world that's natural and normal has been ongoing for thousands of years. Thousands of years. It's not just something that came about with the establishment of the Democratic and Republican parties in the United States. No, it goes way back, as we were talking about. The migratory patterns of people being used as a mechanism of political, gain through uprooting people, keeping them unstable, causing endless wars that end up causing endless opportunities for profits. Again, when you supply the weapons of war to both sides, you make money off of both sides, and then also, you can make money from the, end of it, taking care of healing people that have suffered during war and all sorts of trauma on one side of it or another. Again, the medical institutions are being scrutinized a little bit more than previously. When you look at the First Nations signatory tribe claiming the land, this is really, to me, this is what we all need to do. Every single government on this planet is illegitimate. Every single one of them has been illegitimate. It's been taken from us by force through the use of, again, the banking cabal, the military-industrial complex, the food production. They've taken over all the food production and food facilities. This is part of really what that's all about. Again, telling humans what they're going to eat, making every decision for you, and monitoring you 24/7. We have to take back the world, the entire world, not just, one little piece of land, not one nation. It's the entire world. We have to realize this is a system that took over by force the natural order of the planet.
Looking at this, I am glad and thank you to anyone putting energy toward this. I know some people are very passionate about it, doing what they can, and I do feel it makes a difference, and this is a really good sign. Going back to that shooting around Area 51, Nellis, there are so many cameras. Mike and I have both been right in the area through Area 51, Nellis, and if you look at rocks that might just look like desert rocks, but they probably have cameras in them, and those cameras can read the date on a dime. And it's so odd that somebody actually got that close to do something like that when they can see everything. That's just really, to me, I found it unusual considering the level of security. If you drive out there to Area 51, you're watched. You are watched. They even have the fencing is tapped. So if you touch the fencing, somebody comes out there because they know. So that struck me as interesting.
Yes, absolutely. And we've shared all that on our channels. If you go and look at some of the playlists that we have on Evolutionary and IE Arts as well. We have a playlist talking about the Galactic War with just about 100 videos. The Real Controllers, 265 videos. Yeah, and again, more videos have been taken down on Evolutionary than are up there right now. This one right here, this crime scene, do not cross, was all about, again, the beginnings of the Federal Reserve. And, they stuck that at 86 views and wouldn't let it move. Because 86 means that item is not on the menu. Now this, Consciousness and Reality, you could see this video. This was one of the first ones I shared where I said, going back to, really, it was December 2017. I re-uploaded January of 2018 the video saying that they want to create the Civil War type conditions in the U.S. before the U.S. is attacked, because, the Third World War has been planned forever, at least back as far as 1871 and probably back before that. everything that we're watching right now is like the last, it feels like the last weeks and months before they, go ahead and initiate this. But I think the chances are higher than ever that they're not going to be able to do it because people are waking up too quick. And yeah, there's still a long way to go. But, again, the bigger purpose in all this is replacing a system which is just insanity. It's complete insanity. They have us attacking ourselves. It's like a Jim Carrey movie where we're punching ourselves. It's just utter stupidity. We have to realize we're being manipulated into pitting ourselves against each other by an outside force.
I know, and I'm really just enjoying watching Slinky Kitty. He's super cute.
As always, guys, thanks for your support. We couldn't do without you guys. Much love, source bless, and namaste.
Namaste.